What is location hash? Technically, what is the concept of location hash? Is generally location hash is nothing but actually it is used to get the hash location of our URL actually. If you remembered, we learned about intra-document navigation. Intra-document navigation. In HTML, how to handle intra-document navigation. So let's see that example actually. It's already here in the intra links, yes. So this is a intra-document navigation and intra-document, yeah. Two examples we saw actually. This is another, yeah. So this is one example we learned about intra-document navigation. In this, you click on footwear, it will get the footwear. Fashion, it will get the fashion. You click on electronics, it gets the electronics. This already we learned actually. And actually hash means this is the hash actually. That means in this file already you see here there is an hash electronics. That means which topic you currently viewed, that topic is accessed here. You can get that name by using hash, we can get the name actually. So that means what I can do here, suppose is in the list items, suppose I created another list item and I keep a button here, get recently viewed, or say simply recently viewed. That is the button actually. You see there is a button recently viewed. So on the button click, I need to get recently viewed topic name. So on click is equal to, so here we define an option like recently viewed. So recently viewed means, so what we can do here, just we can write as get details, function name, any name. And I am writing the function here. Here I am defining the function script and function get details. This function should able to get the location. So that means, so here we are defining the location and configuring the location. So that means where hash, so suppose is equal to location dot hash. It will get the hash location details. It will get the hash location details. And this details we need to verify actually. Into the switch, I will pass that hash. And I will verify here. That means if it is electronics. So that means then we will put an alert. So you recently viewed electronics. Such message we are giving. Or you can keep anywhere. I am just keeping an alert. You can put anywhere the message you can display here. Another case is if it is fashion. So alert. So we will say that fashion. So 60% off. So that is just message we are giving, alert. And if the case is footwear, so footwear. Remember, these are hash electronics, hash fashion, hash footwear. So then if it is footwear, then we just put an alert here. and you say that suppose 20% some cash back on so footwear. So footwear like this, I defined some messages and break. And you see here now what happens is, so I click on, so first refresh this page actually. Suppose or directly you can see here. When I click on electronics and or footwear or fashion, recently viewed is this fashion. And you can see when I click recently viewed, so it says fashion 60% off. Even I am scrolling up and down. So, but the recently viewed is not electronics. So that means when you go there, because recently viewed before electronics is fashion. That means how we can go to that location by clicking on that, and that should come here. In that case, what we can do is, so when click on recently viewed, then it gets 20% cash back on footwear. So it keeps that in the memory, so that what is recently viewed, we can get that information there and display. It can display. That is hash location actually. By using location hash, we can get the information about the recently viewed. Mostly this is used in intra-document navigation. I don't need to explain this example to you. This example already we done in HTML. In this example, only one extra logic we are writing, that's it. What is the logic is get the location hash, and we need to verify is it electronics or fashion or footwear. If it is electronics, so if it is electronics or footwear or fashion, then automatically based on that it will display the message. So we can collect the hash location and we can use the hash location. That's what actually the intention of using hash. That is the intention of using hash. Now, another important is when you are working with the location. Location related details are accessed. Location related details are accessed here. So, and they are displayed here. Location related details are accessed and displayed. Now, one more important point is when you are dealing with location object, we can even access the geolocation also. We can access the geolocation and we can also use the geolocations. So we can access the geolocations and use the geolocations. So we can do that. So geolocations are also used. Geolocations are also used in various situations. Various situations. That means generally geolocation means for that actually we need integration of maps generally. We need integration of maps. So if you have integration with the maps, then we can access the geolocation also. That I will tell you later how to integrate with maps. So generally we call them as APIs actually. APIs we will see at the end how to deal with the APIs. For that, generally geolocation means when you open a website, they ask you, allow your location. Then you say, okay, I will allow my location. Then immediately they will get you, they will get your city details based on the location you have allowed. That generally we can do. But for that actually we need combination of dealing with technically geolocation. Navigator have that function also actually. So through location we can access. That comes through another object called navigator, I will tell you. In APIs we will discuss about that. This is only the current URL location details actually. Location means. This is not geolocation, huh? Right. Next, important after understanding the location object. So location window object, allows to manipulate the browser window. And location object access the location details. Location details means server details actually, and URL server details, path details and all. We have a navigator object. This is very important in real-time development. Actually, navigator object, this is one important special object. Navigator object is one important special object. And the purpose of this navigator object is nothing but navigator object is going to, technically the navigator object is going to get information about browser details. Browser details like which browser family you are using. So it has some properties like app name. App name will return the browser family name. Browser family name means not browser name. Browser name. Actually, Chrome browser, Edge browser, and Firefox browser all belongs to a family called Netscape. All are derived from Netscape. So many times, if anybody asks you like how I can get the browser name, you cannot get the browser name. So those browser names you cannot access. Only browser family you can access. And browser family you can access. So by using this app name. And navigator object will provide so many details about the client. So that means you can get language, which language is used in browser, that is US English, UK English, which platform browser supports. That means is it supported on Windows, Mac, Linux, which platform that browser supports on. And it even gets what plugins. Plugins is an array actually. Plugins are nothing but, so plugins are special software tools required to view certain type of documents like PDF documents, flash documents, video, audio, software plugins. And this plugins is to verify what plugins are supported, whether it is working properly or not. Because sometimes when you open website, they will show you a message saying that you need a flash plugin. You don't have that flash plugin. Please install flash plugin. They will show you such messages. How they can know that we don't have a flash plugin in our browser? That information also we can get from that plugins. And we have MIME types. Already we discussed MIME types. So MIME types will tell what types of files are supported on your browser. That means, so what special types of files are supported on your browser? Like, can we watch PDF files? Can we watch JPG files, like that file types? MIME types already are given you when we learned about images, we discussed the MIME types. And the list of the MIME types supported in browser, you can get and you can verify them. And we have options like cookie enabled. So this is another important regularly used options. Cookie enabled, actually, cookies are nothing but cookies are simple text files actually. And client related information is maintained in these text files. If you want to use the facilities like login, register, your details are first taken from you, kept in a cookie, and from the cookie, they will continue your details until you sign out. Once you sign out, the cookie will be deleted. Sometimes cookie is kept in the memory continuously. For example, you see Gmail. So if you don't sign out, then just close the browser. You are still logged in. Now anybody opens your browser and opens Gmail, directly your previous account will come. So how that is still signed in because of, but try deleting your history. Delete the browsing history. After deleting the browsing history, in the browsing history, delete the cookies, then automatically you are signed out. So that means, so even you haven't selected sign out, when you delete cookies, it will sign out because your information is maintained in cookies. And if cookies are not enabled in browser, sign in registration options cannot work. That is the reason. So that is the reason. So whenever you open website, these days you can see regularly, when you open any website, they prompt you a message, please enable cookies on your browser. Why? Because cookies can be blocked. Why cookies can be blocked? Because cookies are having problem also. Why cookies are blocked? They need a special permission because cookies are virus carriers. Easily computers get affected with virus because of cookies. On internet, virus transfers through cookies only. That is the reason if you allow cookies, then you are in threat. So browsers usually block the cookies by default, and they will ask you, do you want to allow cookie? If you allow cookie, then they will give you the facilities of login, sign in, and all such things. Because observe carefully. Suppose I'm using some browser, any browser, right? We are using this browser. And in this browser, so actually, so we are defining. So observe carefully. I will open Chrome:/settings, Chrome settings. We will go to the Chrome settings. Here we search for cookies. We search for cookies. You see here, so you will get site settings. In the site settings, you see cookies are allowed. I will go there and I will say block all cookies. I selected block all cookies. That means currently cookies are blocked on my browser. Okay, then open here Gmail. I'm opening gmail.com. In the Gmail, I'm trying to sign in with my account. And immediately in the next screen, it says that your browser has cookies disabled. Please make sure that cookies are enabled, because cookies need to be there in order to provide you facilities like register, login. Now the question is, how Google knows that your browser is not enabled with cookie? That means who sent that information to that Google? So that means how Google accessed that information? By using a browser object. And what is that browser object? Navigator. And the navigator is a browser object which will send information about your browser. So if cookie enabled or not. If cookie enabled or not, it will get that information and sends the information. So that is what actually navigator object is. I will show you what are the properties it can do. So that means what are the properties available, how it can access the properties. See, navigator.html, yeah. And here we are defining. So doc type HTML head and the title is navigator. And in the body section, so we just create a data list and a data term. So here I said browser family, and data definition. ID is equal to app name. Okay. And another data term. So platform. So here we define as ID as platform. Okay. And we have another term as language, and data definition as, so ID as lang, language. Okay. Another data term I'm giving as, suppose cookie status. So cookie status. And here, so I will put a data definition ID as cookie. Cookie enabled or not, we have to know the status. And these all details we need to get. So on a button, click here. So that means get details. So let's click on click. On click is equal to get details. Okay. And we are writing a script here. So, and it have the function get details. And it should get the details and display the details there. So that means document dot get element by ID app name. Here we dot inner HTML we are using. So here we want to display navigator. Navigator is a dot app name. App name. It will get the browser family name. Similarly, get element by ID. So we say lang language. Through navigator, we have a language. It will get the language. And a document get element by ID. So suppose we have platform, and we can get that using navigator dot platform. It will get the platform. And another get element by ID cookie. Here we want to display navigator dot cookie enabled. Cookie enabled. Actually, cookie enabled will return a boolean value, true or false. Then I will display a message here. I will write a ternary operator. If cookie enabled, that means if it is true, then it should send a message. So cookie enabled. And else it should display a message. So cookie disabled. That is the status it should display. That means we are just writing a ternary operator. And if a cookie is enabled, then it says, if it returns true, then it says enabled. If it returns false, then it is false. And observe carefully here. So this I am accessing on a general browser. That means I am accessing on my Edge browser. In this browser, cookies are enabled. I click get details. Then you see browser family is Netscape, platform is Windows, and language is US English. Cookie enabled. Cookie status cookie enabled. But I will copy the same page and open in my Chrome browser. In this Chrome browser, I disabled the cookies actually. And you can see that when I disable the cookies and click get details, it says cookie disabled on this browser. So, but actually cookie enabled in another browser. That means in this browser, it will support login, registers, and all operations. But in this browser, it will not support. Your code will be changing according to the browser. So that means according to the browser, it gets the information about the browser and display. Cookie is disabled. Okay, let's enable the cookie, allow all cookies, and once refresh the page and get details. You see cookie is now enabled. That means if I block the cookies, and once test this and see, it says cookie disabled. And I'm allowing the cookies and refresh and click here, it is. That means this is very important. Actually, how to create cookies, how to maintain these registration details, and all these are the things that you learn in technologies. Generally, in server-side technology, you will see how we can create such cookies, configure the cookies, and send the cookies. Usually, you will see that generally. Now, important is, so here in client side, we need to verify the cookies enabled or not, cookies disabled or not. Because if user don't know that cookies need to be enabled, so then if he is not allowing the cookies, then sign in, login like options will not work. Then suddenly they may think that our website is not working properly. But actually some options need to be enabled on his browser so that he haven't done. We have to alert him. We have to say that please enable cookies on your browser. And if client doesn't know how to enable the cookies, generally we show the suggestion, go to settings and enable the cookies. So or we will just pop up a message saying that allow cookies like options. This is all generally managed by using technically by using navigator object. Navigator object is accessing the details and showing the details. And the plugins and MIME types are array actually. These are arrays. If they are arrays, how to read the plugins? That means how to know what plugins are currently supported on my browser. So in my browser, what plugins are there? How do we know that plugins related information on the browser? So how we can check the plugins? For example, for that actually, we need to write a program like this because arena, it is array. You know how to read the all the contents from array. I will write a simple script and function one, and here we are defining function. We will use the looping control statement for the arrays, configuring for the arrays. Yeah, that means client OS. This is all client side only. No? This is not server side, right? This is client side scripting. No? Every client side. Okay, right. There is nothing server side because it is getting information about the browser. Browser means client. Okay, right. And here we are defining an option. Yeah. Here we are defining an option. That means, so we are configuring for, so where, so we defined I is equal to 0 because we need to read all the details. So we need all the details to read. So that means we are configuring that where, so where I is equal to 0, then I less than navigator dot plugins. Plugins is an array dot length and I plus plus. That means we are performing a loop over all the plugins available actually. And I need to get the plugin name. So that means now document dot write. So navigator dot plugins of I dot name. It will get the plugin name. So what plugins are available? I will put a BR for line break. It will get the plugin names and display the plugin names. That means, so currently what plugins are supported on your browser? You see, these are the extra plugins that you have on browser. So Edge PDF plugin, Edge PDF viewer plugin, and native client plugin. Such plugins are available. Suppose this PDF plugin is not there. So if it is not there, you cannot watch PDF documents. In some browsers, they can't watch PDF documents. They will download. Then immediately we need to alert them that you don't have a PDF reader. Please download. So how do we verify if that plugin is working or not? Actually, we have to write. This is on Edge, but observe here. Suppose we are accessing on Chrome. So when you are the same accessing on Chrome, you can see that Chrome PDF plugin, Chrome PDF viewer will be there. Because already I told you, because we have browser compatibility issues. We have to check for every browser actually. That means every browser will have different plugins. Don't think that only 3 or 4. Every browser can have different plugins. So several more plugins may be there. Some plugins may not be there. And the plugin names also different actually. How do we verify? Generally, to verify, what we do is, means developers will get the plugin names first. Chrome PDF viewer, this is the plugin name. How to verify it is working or not? We do it. We write a condition. If navigator dot plugins of that plugin name, Chrome PDF viewer, is undefined. Undefined means that plugin is not working. if it is undefined. Similarly, we have to check not only for this. So we need to check or. So navigator plugins, Edge PDF viewer, navigator.plugins offer, plugins offer, plugin name. So plugin name. So plugin name is this Edge PDF viewer. So Microsoft Edge PDF viewer. We have to check all of them because already I told you, we don't know which browser user will use. So we have to verify all the plugins. So again, if this PDF viewer is also undefined, then we will put an alert. So please install PDF viewer. So viewer. So like this we define. And not only that, we can make them go to the location from where he can install. We will use location.href and here http://www some adobe.com/downloads. So downloads something, a website URL. Else, if it is installed, then we will put another message. We will put a message like alert, or say, yeah, alert. We can say that you can watch PDF documents. That's the message we will display. Now see what happens is, if I'm watching on Edge, it says, so please install PDF viewer here. And it will navigate you to that particular location. And there it will allow you to download that here. Actually, because generally we are verifying the plugins. If we are verifying the plugins, we need to verify the plugin names and configure the plugin names. And very important is we need to be very careful in the name, the spaces and everything. Every plugin we need to individually verify. So currently we are verifying only a PDF viewer. So suppose C of Chrome, because all we have to write multi-level, one by one we have to write. Okay. And here we are writing here, and I refresh here, and you say you can watch PDF documents. You can watch PDF documents because you are just verifying in the Chrome. So for Edge, you need to write another condition for Edge. That means if it is Edge, then you can watch Edge. For Edge, they have to provide another download because Edge contains some plugins which are accessed from some other websites. Internet Explorer, different. So for every plugin, you have to verify. Suppose I am opening an Internet Explorer. In Internet Explorer, I am opening this website. That means on Internet Explorer, I am opening this page. You observe here. So when we are opening this page on Internet Explorer, the plugin is completely different actually for Internet Explorer. You are verifying only Chrome plugin. It's not suitable for Internet Explorer. Then immediately it will alert Internet Explorer. So it will alert Internet Explorer saying that please install PDF viewer. But in Chrome, it is not doing so. In Chrome, it says that you can watch PDF documents. In this browser, they don't have that plugin. Then it says, please install PDF viewer. They will say, okay. When they will say, okay, automatically it will redirect to the website from where they can download, that plugin. So because we just used location href, that is optional. Only the point first is how we can get the names of the plugins, how we will verify the plugins. This is the key point actually. We just write an iterator, so or a loop to read all the plugin names and verify them by using undefined. So we have to write a loop and we have to access. Similarly, MIME types also. MIME types means special file types. Already I told you, every browser supports several MIME types. Every browser supports several MIME types. Already we know that. So PNG type, JPG type, MIME types I given a list while working with images, if you remember. And here you can see, we can write a loop again. I equal to 0. I less than navigator dot mime types dot length and I plus plus. Now I want to get the mime types installed, extra mime types installed. Then what we have to do here is we need to configure that and define here. That means we need to configure and define here. So that means what we need to configure and define here is, so here we are using, so a simple document dot write, yeah, and navigator dot mime types of I dot type. It will return what mime type is supported. We need to access and use that particular mime here, right? That is generally option here. So this is the concept. Now when I run this, you can see when I run this, it will get the special mime types installed. You will see that this is the special mime types installed. These are for supporting different types of files actually. Now don't think that these are only the mime types. These are additional mime types. What are the mime types supported in your browser? Generally, these are additional mime types. Some mime types are built in actually. They are not given you in the list. Where you can find them in the list? You can find them in IS. You open IS. When you open IS, while learning images, I told you this. In IS, you will have a category called mime types. Means in your web server, you will have a category called mime types. Here it will show all the mime types supported on your computer. This is the mime types supported by your server actually. That means these are all the mime types supported. All mime types. In that, some special types which browser needs additional plugins, those types will come here. This is important for client-side developers to understand whether the mime type is working or not, whether the plugins are working or not. These are regularly asked questions actually. So by using that, we can technically configure. So we can technically configure some messages, and we can say that please install this plugin. So you don't have this plugin, you cannot see these type of documents. All such messages we can send by using this. That's what actually navigator object is. The main purpose of the navigator object is to define the client details and get the client browser details and give to the server side programmers so that they can understand about the browser before sending anything. Lot of interactions depends on this navigator. And this have one more option which you will learn later in API. So I told you, right, geolocations are there. Geolocation, and geolocation is used to get the client latitude, longitude here actually. So by using geolocation we can get that. So generally for that we will learn separate concept APIs. Geolocation have an API. Actually currently we can get only location, but we cannot show that on map. Showing that on map is a different one. For that actually we need a separate extra APIs to purchase, not free actually. Suppose you see Zomato, Swiggy and all these delivery guys, so whatever they show the status where they are currently on location, they are all paid actually. That is paid maps. You cannot get such things freely. So actually we have several service providers, like we have Mapbox. So this is one service provider. That means you have to purchase the maps from this kind of people. Even Google also provides. You have to purchase maps from this kind of people, and they will provide you have to purchase They will provide you all the navigation and all. You can see these are all the people which are using this map box actually. These are all the people which are using Mapbox. And if you purchase, they will give you a plugin. You can plug in it and you can use in your applications so that it will synchronize your details with the client details, and it will show the location where he is. That is not free actually. We have to purchase this APIs. So what Navigator will do is Navigator have a geolocation option. Means browser have a geolocation option. What will happen is, so Navigator geolocation will get your city, your location related latitude. So latitude and longitude, because in map we need these latitude and longitudes. It will get your location latitude and longitude and give to that map API. That map API, what they will do is they will get that location on the map and show you on the map. That you can't do. For that you need to purchase the APIs. So, but client location allowed not, we can do. That is done by using Navigator object. By using Navigator object, we can get the location details and use that location details. Actually, for that, generally, what we have to do is, usually, first actual general point is, so here in the function, we are simply defining if navigator dot geolocation. Geolocation means, is it allowed or not? Geolocation is working or not? If geolocation is working, it can get the current position by using navigator.geolocation dot get current position. It will get the current position, and it will, if it is able to successfully get, then it will use a function. It will use a callback function. That means it can, if geolocation is working, it will get the current position through this function. It will get the position through this function. That means this function will return the position. This position we can access. That position actually returns coordinates, actually latitude and longitude. We can display that. That means suppose I am displaying document.write. I am displaying document.write. So I said latitude. So what is the latitude? How to get the latitude? We can get the latitude by using position dot coordinates and position coordinates dot latitude. We can get that latitude. And we can get the longitude. So that means we can get the longitude. So that means here I will put a break and I said here longitude. And I can get the longitude and display here by using position dot coordinates dot longitude. It will get the longitude also. We are accessing the details and displaying the details here. We are accessing the details and displaying the details. And if it is not working, that means here, so it should display a message document.write is location is not enabled. Geolocation is not enabled, or it's not allowed. So not supported on your browser. So or browser. So this is general function actually. Navigator have a geolocation. This geolocation will get the current position, and it will access the position related coordinates, x, latitude and longitude. That means when I run this, actually, when we run this program here, so let's run this program here. And usually you can see here, it shows an alert. Alert is nothing but, this is what generally you see in websites. That means this website wants to know your location. That means this website wants to know your location. It shows that it wants to know your location. Then I say that allow or block. if I say block, that means we are not allowing the location. It is not working now. So allow the location here, allow the location, done. So then when you allow the location, then actually what it has to do, it gets the latitude and longitude and display. This latitude and longitude, we will pass into map API. We will pass this into map API. What that map API will do is pick that location on the map. It will pick the location on the map and it will show you in the map. In a map is embedded in your page and it is displayed there. But that is not free service, that is a paid service. So integration with that. Some free maps are available, but they are not great accurate. Just sample, you can test them. I will show you how to use those APIs. But actually see here, this is the latitude and longitude. And I say here maps, maps.google.com, google.com. So this is Google Maps. Actually, in the Google Maps, I am pasting that latitude here. So I'm placing that latitude and longitude. I will copy that latitude and longitude and I'm placing that latitude and I'm searching for that latitude and longitude. It has to get that location and display. You can see that left side, so that location is displayed here. That means where the location is, the current location, city, everything it will get and display here. So it will display that. So that is actually done. That is actually done by using the map APIs actually. If you paste this latitude and longitude, it will get that position and it will display. So based on that, they can identify which city, where the location is, and then use them. But that requires integration of map APIs, requires map APIs. This is just a navigator object allowing the geolocations. If browser is not supporting the geolocations, then the else statement will execute and it will report the message that browser is not enabled with geolocation. Right? This is the intention. This is the concept of how the geolocations are configured. That is also the role of navigator object on navigator object. So that is all the navigator related details. Now we have another option, that is how we can deal with history object. So what is history object and how do we deal with the history object? That we will see in our next session, right? So in the next session, now this history object is small, and in the next session, we are going to learn about JavaScript OOP concepts, object-oriented programming. Then we can start building the applications with it, okay, right? Then, then we will finish all the language. Then we can start using this language in building applications with the jQuery combinations. That will make you perfect in handling designing of pages. That we'll see in next session. Monday we will discuss about that, okay?